What's new in CloudBees CI 2.401.2.3? On June 28, 2023, CloudBees CI 2.401.2.3 was released. In this video, we're going to talk about the information that you need to know about this release. Also on June 28th, Jenkins LTS 2.401.2 was released. I did a video with Mark Waite on June 29th talking about all of the features that are in that release, which also apply to CloudBees CI. The link to that video is down in the description. If you've never taken a look at the release notes for CloudBees CI, let me show you how to get there. We're first going to start at docs.cloudbees.com. Under the Documentation tab, let's go down to CloudBees CI. Then let's click on the Documentation dropdown and click on Release Notes. Now, before we start taking a look at the release notes for 2.401.2.3, let's take a look at this important section. What this important section says is that if you skip versions when you upgrade, refer to previous versions of the release notes for any relevant known issues or upgrade notes. What that means is, let's assume for a moment that we're going to be upgrading to 2.401.2.3. Let's also assume that we're still currently running 2.387.1.3. In that case, I would need to take a look at the release notes for 2.387.2.3 and every other release between there and the release that I'm going to be installing. Now, right off the bat, we can see here for 2.401.2.3, there is a section for pod security policy. We'll revisit that again in a few moments when we take a look at the release notes for modern cloud platforms. Let's first start with traditional platforms. So we'll click on Full Release Notes, and what we'll see here at the very top, there is a brand new feature. And this feature is the CloudBees Pipeline Explorer. If you've ever used Blue Ocean in the past inside of either Jenkins or CloudBees CI, you know that graphical user interface can really help you out when trying to debug issues within your pipelines. Well, now with CloudBees Pipeline Explorer, you get a new streamlined way to troubleshoot your pipelines, whether the log file for that pipeline is either 5 meg or even 500 meg. Also within CloudBees Pipeline Explorer, there's also a search feature. So to learn more about this brand new plugin that's exclusive to CloudBees CI, go ahead and click on the documentation link for CloudBees Pipeline Explorer. If we go ahead and scroll down through the rest of the sections here, there were no new feature enhancements. There were a handful of resolved issues. And I want to call out one item in the known issues section. And that is the second item, which is the tree view display stages in the wrong order. This one is related to the CloudBees Pipeline Explorer that I just talked about. This issue will be corrected in a future release. Now let's go ahead and go over to the modern cloud platform release notes. And in this case, what we have is very similar to what we saw with the traditional release notes. CloudBees Pipeline Explorer is there, no new feature enhancements, a handful of resolved issues that exactly match what we saw over in traditional, but I do want to go ahead and call out one item under upgrade notes. The pod security policy, or PSP, has been removed from Kubernetes 1.25. It's been deprecated since 1.21, so you should have already moved off from using PSP. However, if you hadn't, and when you upgrade to Kubernetes 1.25, then that would break. You can now use a pod security admission to replace what you were doing inside of PSP. Refer to the documentation link for more information. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on Twitter at CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on that subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.